Hey guys, so today I'm going to be trying another method because the green water came back in my 75-gallon aquarium, and this time it works. So wait till the end of the video, you'll finally see clear water in that aquarium. Also, I'm going to be bringing in all the everything that was in the 300-gallon outside and moving it into here, and then moving Norman that was in the 75-gallon up until that tank up there, which is also crystal clear. So, I hope you guys are prepared. I talk about some other projects that I have. In a different video, I will be adding a new basking spot and also building a filter, which are both already on there, as you can see there. So, I hope you guys enjoy, and I hope you guys subscribe to see future content like this. Okay guys, so I'm not exactly sure what to do about this green water, but I have a couple ideas, and what I'm going to start with is making this a bare bottom tank with nothing in it. That's kind of the only thing I can think of doing right now. So what I'm going to do is take this big piece of wood out. I'll put it out in my 100-gallon pond, the in-ground pond that isn't set up. I'll just go set it out there so it stays waterlogged, because that's filled with water just from rain and stuff. And then I will just take everything out. Water is going to get super dirty. I don't even know what's in here. Like, there's one turtle. I don't understand why it's so dirty. But here's what I think. I think that the whole problem is that there's not enough filtration. So what I'm going to be doing is I have a tub over here that I'm going to be converting into an over tank filter, and that'll be the filtration rather than this hang on back filter, which is basically the same design. It's kind of like a hang on back filter, but it'll just be completely above the tank back there. Then this hang on back filter will probably be going on the 55-gallon Norman's going to be going into, and then I think I'll also have I have two sponge filters that'll probably also be going on that. So we're going to see how that works, but obviously I can't put that filter on yet because I haven't built it and I haven't figured it out yet. And also what I'm going to be doing is I was planning on having two basking areas, but obviously that's going to be taking up the space for one. So I'm just going to try to make this basking area bigger with a different piece of wood that I have. I think that'll work. So I can take out that heat lamp, and then I'll also be trying to move the UVB thing that's right here to somehow be more over that. Which should be better for the turtles once I bring them in, which I need to bring them in as soon as possible. So now I'm going to be taking everything out. I decided to take everything out because this huge piece of wood was actually in the 300-gallon, which at the time was currently completely green water. So I'm assuming that's how I just brought it over into this tank again. And it just made sense to me to take everything out, and like I said in the beginning of the video, this actually worked. So I ended up getting green again after this, like kind of like a relapse, and then it eventually worked. Now I am draining the 300-gallon because, like I said, I am bringing everything inside. While it was draining, which took quite a while even though I had 4 different things draining it, I brought in Norman's tank from the garage, and I moved the 2 terrariums that were in my way to different places in my room, and also moved all the plants that were in front of them so then I could put the tank up, and then I put the plants right back where they were. And then I swept it out because it was in the garage, and then I started filling it up real simply, which kind of was worrying because it didn't fit perfectly on the iguana's cage, and we didn't build the iguana's cage to fit a 55-gallon perfectly, but we built the iguana's cage really well, so it hasn't had any problems. And then I took one of my real simple basking areas that I built a ton of, and I put it on there, and then I started dumping water from my other aquarium because the other aquarium I started making colder to more easily fit to the fish that I was going to be bringing in. Then I took the air pump that was on the 300-gallon and I put it onto the 55-gallon for Norman just to get some airflow because I couldn't put the hang-on back filter on his tank yet. Now, in a separate video in the future, I will be actually installing a much better air pump than this. As you can see, it's not working very well, and it kind of just went downhill from here. So I bought a new one, and it works much better. Okay, so as you can see over there, I poured in water from buckets. That water was from this tank, and then in this tank I filled up really cold water, put it in. Now I need to develop a filter for this tank, which I have, and I have the pump and everything for it that I'm going to be doing, but I have to build it tonight. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to go get the fish, put them in bags, And then, actually, I need to drain water from this tank now that I think about it, because that's going to be a lot of water from the bags. And then I'll just put the water back in, but, because I don't want any water of that water into here. But the fish are going to need to acclimate for a long time, so then while they're acclimating, I'll make the filter. So now I'm going to go put them in bags, or I'm going to drain this and start on the filter. While doing this, it was really late because I really needed to get the turtles inside, so I ended up breaking the filter, so plans changed very, very quickly. Change of plans. I broke the filter, so I'm going to have to, I have a different tub that I can use, and I'll have to set it up Friday. Today's Tuesday. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go catch out the fish, put them in here, and then they can acclimate while I move all the wood that's in the 300 gallon over to the 100 gallon pond, which is filled because of rain. And the reason for doing that is to keep it waterlogged, and I don't know what I'm going to do with the filter, but I'm going to figure it out. But again, like the current filter that's on there, because it's filled with plants, so I don't want them to die. But they should be fine by Friday. And yeah, let's go catch out the fish. Like I said, this was really late at night, and this was kind of the second hit to me during the night. First, I broke the filter, and now this, and you'll see it in a second. But there's a reason I didn't record all of this. Okay, guys, so these guys have been acclimating for quite a while now. I'm not exactly sure how long, but they definitely look like they need to be out now, because there's a lot of stuff in the water. So I'm just going to dump it into there and then put them in, and then I'm going to wait for this one a little while longer, because that's just one last minnow, and it got put in here a long while less than the other ones. So again, you'll see what I'm talking about in a few seconds, I guess. All these fish are fine. Okay, so it's been a little while. All the fish should be moving around and doing well. I put a little rock hide in there that I actually found that. I'm assuming it used to be part of a brick, but it's like a perfect hide. And it's like square and everything, but it's completely rock. Like, it's not even like concrete. It's very strange. But all the goldfish are in here. I have a feeling this is going to be disaster, honestly, with this many goldfish. But we'll see how my new filter, once I build it, goes. And yeah, we'll see. But I'll definitely be adding things in with Norman as well. But it's the same deal with him. I need to make sure I have a proper filtration before I do so. And I'd like to escape the tank. But again, both of the tanks, it's just weird now. I'm scared that they're going to turn green, and I really don't want that to happen. So I'm just trying to make sure that doesn't happen. But now I think it's definitely time that I can add in the turtles. They've been sitting in these tubs for quite a while, just because I wanted their bodies to kind of become used to the temperature in here, even though it isn't exactly super warm in here, so it should be all right. So there is Pee-wee, and I'm gonna have to, I'll have this on. So I've had that off because Norman doesn't bask really for some reason, but now there'll be the heat and the UVB. And then here is good old Louie in this tank. And again, like, I want these to look a heck of a lot better. Like, obviously it's enrichment to have a much better system going on here, especially with more decor. That's basically what I'm talking about. But I don't want it to become all gross in here. So that's kind of what I'm trying to make sure doesn't happen. So as you can see, there's Louie, and then there is Pee-wee going in as well. And they seem like they're going to be doing well. Probably start chasing around the fish. And I'm sure they'll be more hungry now. And they actually, the last time I weighed them, they lost weight, which wasn't good. But it's just because it's gotten colder. And as you can see down there, the Yamato, which is the big white and orange goldfish down there, Shabunkin goldfish, has a really pretty tail, which is really cool. I didn't know that it would have that. But I have some bad news, and I don't want to talk about it, not at all. And I really would just like to, sweep it under the carpet, not talk about it, but I know I probably should. So obviously you don't see my pleco in here, or the algae the Chinese algae eater, or Siamese algae eater. And I also had my friend's pleco in there, and you don't see any of those in here, and that's because I waited too long to bring the fish in. I mean, that's facts. That's what happened. I knew I should have the last like 3 weekends. But don't get me wrong, I didn't. One thing, it's not like I've just been sitting around playing Xbox and be like, oh yeah, I'll do that later. I don't even have a TV anymore. I've been working all the time. I have 2 practices after school, and then homework, and then feeding animals, and then sleep. So it's not like I can do it during the week. And during the weekend, that's really the only problem, is I haven't had a whole lot of time there either. But the time that I did have, I've been working on projects inside relating to animals, that is. Like cleaning up my room, getting these enclosures done. And yeah, so I'm not happy with that at all. As you can see, Lewis is trying to mate Pee-wee. I'm not happy. I'm really just quite mad with myself right now. So it's very disappointing. So definitely the pleco that my friend gave me and the Siamese algae eater, they died recently from the cold. Definitely from the cold. But the other pleco didn't die from the cold. I don't know what it died from, and I don't see a reason that it would have died. I just don't understand. But it must have died quite a long time ago, because there was no remnants of it except this over here. As you can see, these are its the side fins. This is how thick common Plecostomus's spines are, and this is a piece of its head plate, I believe. Not its whole skull or anything, but I'm assuming because it has the same pattern. But it must have died a while ago. I don't know if the turtles killed it. There's a possibility that when one of the pieces of wood in there sank, because I always had wood in there trying to waterlog it, it could have fell on top of it. I have no idea what happened to it. It was healthy. There's no real reason. So, I mean, I couldn't do anything about this. Again, I'll keep those just to like show people, like if they want to see like how thick and how like crazy. Like I've always been scared of plecos because I know that this has been like this, but I've never actually seen them like that. There's nothing I could have done about that. The other 2 are definitely my fault, and I can't do anything now. It sucks. So next year I want to build an outside pond, so then I don't even have to deal with bringing goldfish in and these minnows, and they can just stay out all year long. Build like a proper in-ground pond. Same with the turtles, these 2 turtles at least. And actually Norman, if Norman would go in with them, which he probably wouldn't because he's too mean. They can survive out there all year round, and I wouldn't have to worry about that. But I don't know what else to say. Sorry to end this on a bad note. I'll probably film something else after this to pep up the video a little bit, but it's disappointing, and I don't know what to do about it. But now that I think about it, I'm gonna count the goldfish real quick, because I mean, it looks like a lot, but I should have 15, I think, if I'm not wrong, because of Yamato, and I think the little white goldfish name's Diato, maybe. I'm gonna count them real quick. Okay, so good news, all of the goldfish did survive. There's all 13 comments in here, and then there's the white one, which I didn't think I was gonna find, honestly. I had no hope for it, because I obviously put it in later than all the other ones, and it was smaller than all the other ones, and I haven't seen it since I put it in. So there it is. And then there's obviously this shabunkin right here, which is absolutely huge, just like the rest of these guys. Okay guys, sorry to end like that. It was just really quite a depressing night with the filter and everything. But as you can see, the tank's a lot different now. So it was a little bit more clear. I just haven't done a water change in a little while, but it's not exactly green, I wouldn't say. And it's definitely not turning green. But it did at some point kind of start to turn green, and then one day I looked at it and it was just completely clear like this. So I don't know what happened, but I've been feeding these guys a lot. Obviously the goldfish, these are so cool. I love this tank, it's awesome. And then having the Pee-wee and Lewis as well, very, very cool having them in here. They have lost weight again, which is weird, so I'm gonna get on a strict schedule of feeding them every single day. And as you can see, I got a new basking area. There'll be a video coming out about that, and also sneak peek of the filter a little bit. I did end up getting that working in a way that I decently like it, so I think that's pretty cool. And as you can see, the bottom has actually, I've just let this algae grow. Again, I haven't done a water change on this tank yet. I don't think. I'm pretty sure without, yeah, no. With the goldfish in here, haven't done a water change yet. So that's just pretty amazing. Again, I'm still like completely buried in tons of work and stuff. But soon, I think there'll be a clearing and I'll have time to do a lot more stuff. Like, this week is the last week of play. I'm gonna play, which shouldn't really surprise you considering that I like teaching people on YouTube. I'm pretty much fine with being in front of people, kind of. But once that's over, I'm gonna be so happy because I'll have so much more time and to do things like this. So again, I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm sorry for the depressing bit when I found my fish had passed away, and I'm so sorry about that. I mean, like, honestly, in the end of the day, it doesn't affect you. Like, that's on me, and that sucks, and I'm really disappointed about it. But I can't do anything about it now, and like I said, probably won't repeat that mistake because I don't plan on moving tropical fish outside ever again. There's just, I don't really have a reason to do that. So I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, like it down below. If you have any comments or concerns, put in the comments below. And if for more content, then subscribe. Again, this, also, you can see the crazy bubbles. Yeah, that's because I bought a new, air pump, and I also explain how air pumps work in that video because I actually have to fix it, which is really cool that I know how to do that, but maybe that's just me not being humble at all. And also I set up the filter, and by the way, I'm not moving that hang on back filter, it's staying on this tank as well. And as soon as I have the time to do some water change on this tank and Norman's tank, I'll be moving some of these goldfish into his tank because I feel that it can sustain him and goldfish as well. So have a fantastic day. See you in the next video.